Oh, g'day. Keithy here. Thanks for joining me again. Glad to have you here. So today's video, I am excited for this because I've just finished a recent round of treatment, chemo treatment, so I'm feeling half all right, and I've actually got the opportunity to come along and go on a trip. And this is not just any trip, this is my favourite trip. This is an all-time favourite trip of mine, and I want to take you guys along. So we're going to go along with the Roving Around 4-Wheel Drive Club. You'll meet some of the guys from the club throughout the video. But I've got to get this car packed first because it's been so long since I've been camping, so it's going to take me a bit of time to go through. You can see here I'm going through all the electrical stuff at the moment, just making sure everything's all right, double check that the battery's all hooked up and everything's all running really, really good there. I've also got something else up here too. I get a new one of these every year, even if the old ones haven't been used. I keep the old ones and I just give them a shake up every couple of months, maybe every 6 months. But yeah, every year I get a new one and I chuck it in the car, so it's always there. So this is going to come on the trip for sure, and hopefully you are too. So grab yourself a coffee, beer, whatever your drink is, get your dog along, get ready to have a bit of a video time. This is going to be a long one because there's quite a lot to see on this trip. So we're going to start in Townsville and work our way up. I'll talk a little bit about that through the video. Let's go and have a look. Couldn't go without checking this out.
Right, preparing it fires now.
So as with any good trip, we had to start somewhere, and we started in Townsville as a group of 5. We were planning to meet up with another member of our trip, Rod, up in Cairns. So the trip from Townsville up through to Cairns is usually pretty uneventful. It's just a bitumen road most of the way. We're a bit lucky this time. We pulled up in Cardwell. You've got to have a pie when you go to Cardwell. Good chance to throw up the drone while we were here. And then we made our way after this up to Cairns. Met up with Rod in Cairns. And then we followed North Queensland's version of the Great Ocean Road, the Captain Cook Highway. So it begins in about Port Douglas and finishes on the north side of Port Douglas, up around Mossman sort of area. It's a lovely drive. I do recommend, if you're in the area, even if you don't have a vehicle, hire a car if you can and go for a drive up this way. But I'll let the footage do the talking. There's some lovely stuff you're going to see before we get to the Daintree.
Keep an eye on the road, signal a change. I could never give you a reason. I buckle under the weight. I don't want to hear the truth or what it leads to. I'm in the wrong place at the right time. It's harder to fight. The machine I'm driving listens to the ghost inside me. And when I lose touch, somebody clear the smoke screen between the ghost and the
Alright, packed up. So we're up in the Daintree, as you would have seen from the drone footage. Lovely little place. I didn't get too much footage up here because it was really just a bitumen track up here, a drive to the Daintree. It's a lovely place, but we're all packed up now and ready to head off. We're going to do the CREB Track today, and hopefully we're going to end up somewhere like Lakeland or Laura. So fingers crossed, watch on. As you see, we crossed over the Daintree River. Lovely crossing that one is. You have to check the depth of that one if you can. Obviously you have to be very careful as well because there's a crocodile in the Daintree River. There's a number of crocodiles, I should say. So you don't want to go walking or swimming across. Definitely not for entertainment purposes, purely just to get a little bit of a depth check before you go over. So as you can see, the Daintree was pretty easy going for us, and we've come across a couple of crossings on the CREB Track itself. Nothing too concerning about any of these crossings. They've all got a hard bottom, so there's no trouble for vehicles coming across there. Just check the depth again, and if your vehicle doesn't have a snorkel, you want to be extremely careful crossing over water. As you see at the end of the CREB Track, we have got Roaring Meg Falls. Fantastic spot for the day. I recommend going there for sure. It's a lovely place to cool down, especially in the hotter months of the year. In the cooler months, that water can be quite chilly, but it's still quite an enjoyable swim. Don't forget to read the signs as you go up there. There are some areas that are taboo for men to go. So once we'd finished at the Roaring Meg Falls, we continued the drive, eventually pumped the tyres up, and then made our way to the Lionsdown Hotel for the night.
Once upon a time we were dreaming, now we're on the come up, steady scheming. We ain't got a lot, but you know we believe in what we feel in our hearts as we reach for the ceiling. They all just frowned and shook their heads. I nodded with a smile and took their bets. Came out on top and they all on the losing end. Nothing turned out how they thought it really should have been, and I ought to thank them for real. Gave me the fire, they turned me to steel. If love is war, life is a battlefield. Headed for the sky, wonder how that'll feel. Ready to be living it, making dividends. Winning is a goal and I know that I'm getting it. My rise to the top is getting imminent. Waiting on the challengers, go ahead and send them in. This song's for the winners, never giving up, never giving in when life gets tough. This song's for the soldiers, never call it quits. Live for the challenge, they can never get enough of this. Song's for the winners, never giving up, never giving in when life gets tough. This song's for the soldiers, never call it quits. Live for the challenge, they can never get enough of this. I can see the sun's rays and they're parting the clouds. My path is so clear and I'm walking it now. I think all the haters are starting to doubt why they hated in the first place. It's hard to figure out where all of that came from. It's a shame, son, could have come along, but you're digging your grave. Someday we can set aside our differences, and you can chill in my villa, sipping on expensiveness, let go with the bitterness. Relax, the battle is over, let me bury the axe. Set down your blades, dull your tongues. We out of the ring, so off with the gloves, and let's shake hands like men do. I don't need to rub it in, what I've been through. It's clear I'm the winner, but you can win too if you let go of the hate. It's so simple. This song's for the winners, never giving up, never giving in when life gets tough. This song's for the soldiers, never call it quits. Live for the challenge, they can never get enough of this. Song's for the winners, never giving up, never giving in when life gets tough. This song's for the soldiers, never call it quits. Live for the challenge, they can never get enough of this. This song's for this song's for this song's for
Next up, Old Coach Road. This is not for the faint-hearted, this track, so if you're coming up to do Cape York, then this is a great time to really cut your teeth on what you're going to get on the telly track with a difference. So driving up along the Old Coach Road, you're going to be in low range and you're going to be driving in first and second gear most of the time. There's not really going to be any chance for you to get any speed along here. So for that reason, I actually rate the Old Coach Road as difficult. A lot of people will have differing opinions on this one, and that's okay, but when you see the footage, it really doesn't give you a true indication of actually how hard this track is. So all of these four-wheel drives have got a 2-inch suspension lift and solid all-terrain or mud-terrain tyres on. Anytime I do a trip up here, whether I'm leading or whether I'm a passenger, I recommend chucking a new set of tyres, or if your tyres are more than 50%, definitely go that way, because you need all the traction you can get. Not only that, you need good tyres that are able to take a little bit of a beating, because the entire track from the Old Coach Road right into Maytown and even along the dirt road back out to the highway. Doesn't matter which way you go, whether you come out at Laura, whether you come out at the Palmer River Roadhouse. It's going to test your tyres for what they are. So make sure you've got good tyres, make sure you've got a way to inflate them and deflate them, and a good spare as well. And I definitely recommend, if you're going to do the Old Coach Road, don't do it on your own. Make sure you're in a convoy of people, at least one other vehicle, because if something happens, it's a very long way either in or out to try and get help, and there's no phone service through here whatsoever. So you're on your own. Sit back and enjoy. So I'll label everything as I go through here. It's an absolutely fantastic drive. There's some good hill climbs. There's some great scenery as well, all of the old relics and mine camps, and then obviously when you get to Maytown, walking down that main street really gives you a good perspective of what life was like back in the 1800s and early 1900s. They did it pretty tough, and if you do it at any time of year that isn't summer, it's still pretty hot out there. So I don't know how they did it. They didn't have air conditioners or any of that kind of stuff back then. They managed to get through really well. And you'll see a lot of the diggings around the place as well. Just make sure you don't start digging yourself, because this land here is partially mining land as well, so you will need a permit. And you also go onto Aboriginal land as well, so you're not allowed to go digging on Aboriginal land without permission. Sit back and enjoy the Old Coach Road. last stop on the Old Coach Road is Maytown. You've made it. So you've done all of the hard stuff. If you've made it to Maytown, the only stuff you're going to have now is a bit of a dirt road, a bit of corrugations here and there, but nothing extreme from here. So congratulations, you've done good to get this far. Don't forget to stop, have a look through the town. You see the Louisa mine there. There are a number of mine relics you can have a look at through here. I didn't put them all in the video for time's sake. Definitely spend the time going through there and having a look at everything that you can. Spend some good time going through Maytown. There's also a visitor's book if you have a look around at the little hut. From Maytown, we made our way back out to the main drag and stayed at the Palmer River Roadhouse for the night. I always stay at the Palmer River Roadhouse if I can. G'day Andrew, it's good to pull in there and say g'day. Andrew's a great bloke, so is his team, and I tell you what, they'd never forget a person. So if you go in, shake his hand once, he'll remember you the next time you come in. There's a great team of people up there, and I hope he stays there for a long time to come. That place is actually up for sale at the moment. Thank you very much for watching. I'll leave you to have a look through the rest of the footage and enjoy the video. Don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, do all that magic stuff. It helps me to continue making these videos for you guys. A little bit of encouragement for me, especially given what I've got going on at the moment. So thanks once again, and I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll catch you next time. I'm Keithy. See you later.